So here we have Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre, and Pierre Poilievre, he's a very lucky man, and that's because he's been given such a gracious and benevolent electoral situation right now, where the whole entire of the country, or you could say the majority of Canadians, are so absolutely fed up with Justin Trudeau that they are ready to have an election and just vote him down and vote Justin Trudeau out and bring in a new conservative government. Whether that's minority or a majority government, that's yet to be seen, but it's almost guaranteed now. But that can only be guaranteed if Mr. Poilievre is able to keep his mouth shut and not be too much of a big mouth and loud mouth. Consider this a bit of constructive criticism for the leader of the opposition here. If you want to touch on contentious issues such as conflicts within the Middle East and demonize the people in Canada who are opposing Israel's savage war in Gaza and as well as now Lebanon, that will bring up contention within your own voter base. Now, some of you might say, what do you mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that a lot of the ethnic minorities in Canada have traditional conservative values. And considering that, a lot of those and ethnic minorities would support Pierre Poilievre in the next election over Justin Trudeau, considering he's fiscally better for Canada and he maintains social values which are more in line with their values as well. One such of these ethnic groups is, for a large part, the Muslim community. The Muslim community, especially the more well-off individuals in the community, really value the economic situation that they are in. And of course, they would side with the Conservatives on a variety of economic policies. And not to mention that only, they would also, many of them, support Conservatives in terms of social values. And for Pierre to start becoming rambunctious in his speeches about the issues within the Middle East, it could turn out to harm him and his electoral chances. Because if he distances himself from those communities, such as the Muslim communities, which are ready to vote for him, but are ready also not to come out and vote for him, considering the fact that if they don't see Pierre as an ally or as a friend to them, they're ready to sit at home rather than vote for Pierre or Justin Trudeau. I'm just saying, it's best if Pierre Poilievre treads carefully. He's got this in the bag. The election is almost secured for the Conservatives. So it's best that he does not get too contentious and try to signal and get political points. Some of you might not like this criticism I'm giving, but you must realize in Canada, we are a very, very, very progressive nation in terms of voting and what parties we vote for. If I might refer you to the 2021 Canadian election, yes, as you can see, the Conservatives did win the popular vote. However, if we were to look at the far left vote of the NDP and the Green Party, their votes also add up to 3.3 million. Additionally, if we add that on to the vote of the Liberals, 5.5 million, that nearly comes out to close to 8.9, close to 9 million votes for left-wing parties in Canada. So the left-wing vote is very strong here. And you have to remember that if you upset voters who are on the edge of voting left or right, such as voters who are worried about their economic situation in Canada but are kind of wary of the social side of the Conservatives, there is a very big tipping point here where many of them might be afraid of what conservative values are, and if they see them as being in what some might characterize as being very, very contentious and kind of archaic. Now, that's up to perspective, of course, but many Canadians think in that way. So, you have to be careful of that if you want to secure the election, Mr. Poilievre. This is more of a constructive video for you, and whoever might be interested in knowing the strategy that the Conservatives should take if they really want to win the election against the Liberals. The left-wing vote in this country is strong. You have to attract the voters in the Liberals who are on the edge to come into the Conservatives. And you're not going to do that by pushing the typical conservative base rhetoric that we've been hearing for years on years now that has been failing the Conservative Party. And once again, if I might remind you guys, we're not the Prime Minister of Israel here, okay? We're not Israel, okay? We have to worry about Canadian issues at hand. Whatever goes on in the Middle East, it's horrible. It's absolutely disgusting. But it's best for us Canadians to stick to our own politics and, of course, advocate for a peaceful and resolute conclusion to all conflicts across the world, as we should not be heading towards our destruction or be promoting ways to head to our destruction. It's very, very common sense thinking here. Peace is better than war, okay? And let's not bring ourselves to the edge of conflict, of nuclear holocaust. Okay, guys, so that's just a small video I wanted to make. It's food for thought for you guys. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.